The lights flickered ominously in the sterile hallway as I sprinted towards Lab 047B. The air was thick with tension, and my heart raced, pounding against my chest like a caged animal. I could feel the stinging sweat on my brow, the echoes of distant alarms reverberating through the facility. I had to reach the lab before it was too late. Come on, come on, I muttered under my breath, skidding to a halt in front of the heavy door, secured by biometric locks. My fingers danced over the scanner, praying my clearance was still valid. The door opened with a hiss, and I rushed inside, the cold metallic scent of the lab hitting me like a wall. The containment box was at the center of the room, a rusted gas cylinder encased in glass. SCP-047. Just looking at it sent chills down my spine. This was no ordinary gas cylinder. It was a Cater-class anomaly, a source of untold horrors. I quickly activated the surveillance feed and glanced at the monitors, watching the feed from the quarantine suite. D-Class personnel, report status. My voice echoed in the empty lab. There was a moment of crackling static before D15978's voice crackled through. I feel weird. It's like something's crawling under my skin. The panic in his voice was palpable. Did you come into contact with SCP-047? I need to know. I don't know. I was just following orders. His voice was frantic, and I could hear the sound of something wet slapping against the floor. The monitors flickered, and I focused on the D-Class's face, horrified. His skin was mottled, crawling with something unseen, and then I noticed it. Tiny, writhing shapes just beneath the surface. My stomach dropped. Get him out of there! Engage Lockdown Protocol 04701. Yersinia! But it was too late. The gas had already seeped into his system, mutating the bacteria that lived within him, transforming him into a host for SCP-0471. I could see the shadows of the mutated bacteria shifting beneath his skin, a bloom of uncountable species ready to unleash chaos. D15978, do you hear me? You need to... Suddenly, the feed cut out, and the alarms blared louder, a cacophony of warning sirens echoing through the lab. I felt a creeping dread wash over me. I was no longer safe here. I turned back to the containment box, desperate to seal it away and prevent the spread, but the cylinder was slowly evaporating, the air thickening with the mutagenic gas. I had to act fast. I grabbed a nearby containment suit, fumbling to put it on as the gas began to fill the room. Stay calm, I whispered to myself, heart racing. I could feel the effects of the gas creeping in, a tingling sensation on my skin. No, this wasn't happening. I had to contain it. Just as I secured the last strap of the suit, the door burst open. 2 members of the biohazard recovery team rushed in, eyes wide with terror. We have to evacuate. It's spreading. But before they could even finish, I felt it. A sharp pain radiated through my body. I looked down at my hands, horrified to see the familiar writhing beneath my skin. No, not me too, I gasped. But the gas had already taken hold. The last thing I saw was the panic on their faces as they realized I was infected. The reality struck me like a thunderbolt. I was no longer a researcher. I had become a vessel for SCP-0471. I was the next wave of infection, and the very thing I had dedicated my life to studying. The gas engulfed the room, and as I succumbed to the mutation, a chilling realization settled in. This was not just a lab accident. It was a cycle that would continue as long as SCP-047 existed, and I was now part of it. The last remnants of my consciousness faded as my body transformed, the sound of alarms and screams fading into silence. The containment breach was no longer just a breach. It was a beginning,